As parents, our free time is precious. Every day that goes by, more and more is added to our streaming services and our gaming backlogs. So, we've taken the liberty of looking back on 2024 and sharing all of our favorite movies, TV shows, and games. From the latest Marvel, DC, Star Wars, we've got you covered. That's also not all for this episode. We're going to look ahead to 2025 and share our most anticipated upcoming releases. So sit back, relax, and let us guide you through the best of the best. Whether you're a lifelong geek or a dad who's just trying to keep up with the latest trends, we've got something for everyone. All this and more on this episode of Three-Dimensional Dads,
where parenting meets geek culture.
I'm Jay.
I'm Derrick.
And I'm Ian.
And we're the Three-Dimensional Dads, and we're on video.
Ooh, and
this is crazy. This is what we actually look like.
That's right. Ooh.
Strike a pose. Meta Garbo. I can't do Madonna.
Nor do we want you to.
No one wants to see that. We actually want to build listeners. So yeah, it's we're recording this December. I'm not wearing my
22nd?
watch, but it's the end of December. It's the 22nd of December, and I'm leaving to go away for the holidays. I know Derrick's got his family in.
Oh, are you?
Going to be getting some family stuff going on, and it just kind of makes sense to wrap up 2024 and talk about season 1, which was a full audio podcast, and how good that was, and then talk about 2025 and what we're looking forward to. So, I don't know, guys. You got any really quick personal highlights?
I'm just excited to be back.
Yes.
I know, just really it's about time. People have been wanting the Three-Dimensional Dads, and we're going to give it to them.
I think it's we have a fan club of one. It's one of my students from school. So shout out, who you are. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention
Probably
names.
More than one.
Her sister too. So who's also, they're both in genocide studies. So
there you go.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back too. It's we're busy dads. This is not only a fun thing to do, it's also our hangout time. So, hey, this is good. This is good stuff.
Yeah, so season 1, I think more people saw our podcast than we ever thought would.
Yeah.
Wow. It went out there, and so many people saw the clips of our podcast, listened to our podcast. It was, definitely made us want to come back and do more.
We need the T-shirts. We need we're big in Uzbekistan T-shirts.
We have stickers.
We do have stickers. Yeah, if you want stickers, send us an email at threedimensionaldads@gmail.com. And you're going to hear that email again at the end, because that's what we do. I think we should get right into it. I definitely had a wonderful experience in 2024 with my geek stuff. I'm going to start with my favorite TV show. Hands down, the best one that I saw this year was The Penguin. Oh my goodness. After the success of the Batman, and far be it for me, look, Robert Pattinson as Batman, I had my doubts too. He killed it. The world building killed it. And Colin Farrell as the Penguin, just classic, iconic take on the Penguin. And the show was good too, because it wasn't a Batman show. It was a mafia show set in the Batman universe.
Just a little bit more of a Batman show.
No,
we have the Joker, and it's not a Batman show. We have the Penguin, not a Batman show. We have Sony's Spider-Man verse with no Spider-Man in it. Yeah, maybe a little. A little taste of Batman.
You know what? I will tell you this. Every episode, I forgot Batman existed. All I could focus on was Colin Farrell and his acting.
Farrell existed. I mean, that no accent kidding, right? And that character, wow.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
It was perfect. Great. I thought it was great. Staying on the superhero theme, I know I'm going to get a little crap for this, but my favorite movie of the year, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Ooh. It
was my favorite. It was not the best. There were lots of great films this year. I loved Alien Romulus. I loved Furiosa. But my favorite movie, I've watched it 3 or 4 more times, start to finish, was Deadpool and Wolverine, just because it was fun. It was just fun.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds is fun. And Hugh Jackman as the straight man in the comedy duo was perfect. I thought it was great. Now, we argued about this in season 1. Did it add to the Marvel Universe? Maybe a little bit, maybe a smidge-a-rooney, but it didn't need to. It was fun. And I sat down, I forgot about everything that was going, left turns in my life, and you just eat some popcorn and giggle for a couple hours. It was perfect. And I love the cameos. I think by this time we're not spoiling anything. Blade, if they don't make a Gambit movie, that is a crime far beyond any other crime and superherodom, but definitely. And then
Elektra too, right? I mean, there's
Elektra
some
was
really
good.
good cameos.
Yeah.
X-19.
Mm-hmm.
X-19 was great. I think we're looking forward to good Marvel things, and we'll get to that sometime later in the season. But definitely Marvel is making a good run.
I don't think you're wrong with that pick too, because there's a lot of people that agreed with you. It's probably one of the more successful Marvel entries in a long time,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, despite what we thought about it, I think the majority of people would agree with you, Jay.
Marvel had a lot of swings and misses.
Well, yeah, we'll see about Captain America. I mean, I've heard that's supposed to be like a real MCU movie. But I've heard re-edits and edits and bad screenings, and who knows. But that's going to deal with at least a giant celestial in the ocean, so we'll see.
Yeah, and adamantium. Finally, my favorite game. I've been playing it. In fact, I was playing it a little bit before I got on with you guys. Starfield, Bethesda. Yes, Skyrim in space, but it's good. I mean, they got rid of a lot of the bugs. They have these creation mods things. I like it. Whether you're doing all the narrative quests or you're just kind of like flying around to planets, setting up bases and stuff like that, it's just fun to play around. It's like grown-up Minecraft, even though grown-ups do play Minecraft.
Yeah, they do, Jay. Grown-ups can play Minecraft is grown-up Minecraft, Jay. I love Bethesda. They did Fallout. Yeah. They've done Skyrim. They've done some of the best games.
Yeah, I loved it. Thought it was great. Hopefully, they make a few more changes. I would love to be able to play with people in, a kind of a community because it's a single player game, but we shall see. Derrick, I know you have a lot of cool stuff on your list. Let's hit it.
All right, so I guess I'll start on the weakest leg of my stool, and that'll be with gaming because I'm not a huge gamer. However, I feel that what I looked forward to or what I played in 2024 really will translate into kind of what I'm looking forward to in 2025. And so my son was big into Splatoon 3, and therefore I got hooked on Splatoon 3. I just really like this game. It's kind of more of a first-person shooter for kids. The co-op is amazing. The game mechanics are super fun. The story mode is really great too. But you can play with people all over the world in these tournaments, and you make up teams, and you go to these squid fests and things. It's a really, really fun game. I really enjoyed it. I really got my feet wet in it. And something that's really awesome about it too is that it's a new generation of Nintendo, apparently, developers that really shepherd along this game. And I've heard that's going to be translating into the new Switch console. That's a lot of what I've heard, that there's this new generation that Nintendo is bringing in, and hopefully their software is going to translate into their hardware, which is something I'm looking forward to in 2025, is the rumors of the new Switch coming out.
I do love the fact that you said a first-person shooter for kids.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. It's basically it definitely is like a first person kind of shooter for kids.
Is it only on Switch? It's only on Switch.
It is only on Switch. Okay. It's only on the Nintendo platform. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
For TV shows, there was a ton on TV. There's a ton on streaming. There was so much good television. Like The Penguin is just something I just haven't been able to keep up with because there's so much good stuff. There's Silo that's out. There's Shogun was out this year. That was amazing. Mm-hmm. But I still think, and this is a show that's already been on Amazon Prime that I love, is The Legend of Vox Machina. And they had their third season this past year. It is by this group called Critical Role. They all used to play like D&D together, and they developed this cartoon. And this past season was really awesome. It was really, they were fighting this trio of dragons that was this kind of like this empire that they had to like take down in order for to make the world free. But it's got everything. It's so humorous. It's only a half hour long. It lives in a fantasy world, and it's got that kind of violence and dirty humor. I just love it. The characters are epic, and it's kind of one of those sort of those quest type of shows that I really, really enjoy.
Nice.
And by far, my number one pick for movies, hands down, was Dune Part 2. It was the first thing that came out basically that was on my radar for 2024, and it remained top and number one. It's probably, in terms of cinematography and just in terms of scope of story, the closest thing that I've seen that comes to Star Wars in a long time.
And because we're doing this video podcast, I can actually see the love for it in your face.
Yeah.
You're like people are going to be seeing the joy that this is bringing to you. I find it amazing.
I think I told Ian this. Like, I thought that the part 1 was just like an abuse moosh, kind of like, this is what we want to do in part 2, like to like tease people to actually fund the second part. I really feel like part 1 did like a disservice to part 2.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was like that good. It was just, there were 2 separate movies in my personal opinion. There were other things that I really enjoyed too. I thought Alien Romulus was a pleasant surprise.
Yes.
I thought it was like, wow, I did not expect that at all. Like another Alien movie. Are you kidding me?
I've been pretty burned out on Alien movies, but that one, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but by far, I thought that Dune Part 2 was like my favorite movie of the year.
Cool.
For sure. Ian, what do you got?
Sure. So I'm a huge gamer. I'm different here. I'm the gamer of the group. And so it's hard to pick just one. If I had to, it's called Helldivers 2.
Oh.
And so it is this massive multiplayer game. You usually do it in squads of 4. And it's a kind of a co-op multiplayer, which I love. I'm not that great at video games, especially like PvP, when like people are so good at PvP. Like I die instantly, and I feel so old when I play those. But like these co-op games, I love that you're trying to do stuff with people. You're playing against a computer.
Now, if people want to play that, what system is it on?
So it's on PC, and it has crossplay. So we have PC people playing. We have people on PlayStation playing.
Yeah.
Okay. Any Xbox?
I don't think so yet.
I think it's PC and Steam, I think too, right?
Right. Yeah. So I play with people that are playing on PC all the time. Yeah. And it's just awesome. I mean, it's not since Destiny 2 if I played a game that like is a lot of fun to do with others that you don't know at all. I think that's great. And I love Starship Troopers. And so for me, this is Starship Troopers, the game, is that you're shooting bugs.
Yes.
There are giant bugs on like Glendathu. They're coming at you. And like that feeling of like standing on a rock and being like, like shooting down. Like, it just reminds me so much of Starship Troopers that I thought it's like, it just captured that perfectly. And I spent way too many hours playing that. I'm still playing it. So awesome game.
There are people on our Nerf group that would like cosplay it. And I had no idea what it was. It was just like, wow, this is really cool.
Check it out.
It's got some good humor too about like freedom and democracy. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So sticking with the gaming stuff, my TV show this year is Fallout on Amazon Prime.
So good. It was really good.
I am like the biggest Fallout fan. I have a pit boy behind me somewhere. I have, I have bobbleheads. I am a huge Fallout fan, and I have played it since Fallout 1 and 2. And this show was better than it should have been. It's one where it's just like, wow, I would have loved it if it was way worse. And I feel like this was a 10 out of 10. And game adaptations, they're always, who knows? They haven't been great, but we got treated to Last of Us and Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
I think Last of Us, I don't know if it was this year, if Last of Us was last year, but those two to me, Last of Us and Fallout are just, wow. What great adaptations. And if you haven't played the games, you watch that show, you know why I love it. They captured what the fans love so much. And they gave us like Fallout 5. They even progressed the story forward. Awesome. I thought that show was just so masterfully made. Wonderful. I love the music. I loved everything. Very faithful to the original. This is how you adapt something. And speaking of, and in the same vein of that, my favorite movie was Wicked, which it's the only movie this year that I saw twice. And I saw with my daughters. And they absolutely loved it. They were singing all the time, and I just thought, adapting musicals is hard too. It's like when you don't have the original cast, and the original cast defined those roles. With Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel, they're known for that. This was written for them. Like this show was amazing, and I'm so burned out on Wicked. Like it's like a movie, it's like a musical theater guy. Yes, everyone sings Defying Gravity, just way too much, and so but it blew me away. I thought the performances in this were just so good. And the actors.
My daughter's been listening to the soundtrack a lot, ruining my Spotify algorithm. I mean, I got to tell you, I haven't seen it yet. I'll
go a third time.
I don't know if I want to because, like, I haven't even seen the show yet. Like, I want to see the show. It's like if they made Hamilton into a movie, like I want to see the show first before I'd see the.
Maybe see the movie I saw the show, so I saw it when it came to Boston.
Yeah.
And I think this does such justice to it that it is totally worth it.
I will, when it comes on streaming, I will watch it.
Yes.
I usually am kicking and screaming about like, oh my God, these things musicals and they're so popular. But then I give in finally. I'm like, oh, that was amazing.
I am the opposite. I am a singer.
I know.
I love musicals. And like, I'm a pretty harsh critic and I just was over the moon.
That's awesome.
I thought it was
Don't get me wrong. I love musicals too. I love Les Miserables. I love the movie with Hugh Jackman. I thought they did a wonderful job with it. I don't know. It hasn't hit me somewhere. I do love Ariana Grande. Her impressions, Ariana Grande's musical impressions are fabulous. And the thing with this, though, is the only thing I don't know about it is she did not do an impression of Kristen Chenoweth.
She kind of
really made it her own.
It's really interesting between. Oh, don't get me started on this.
I've heard the two.
You're talking to the master here.
I heard both tracks. I don't think she did. I think she really made it. The songs that I've heard, I think she's made it her own.
Okay, so between the two of them, she is the much more faithful to what Kristen Chenoweth did. She's a hardcore Wicked fan, Ariana Grande, okay. And so she plays a lot of homage, like with the vocal runs and the things she does. She does add her own little stuff in interesting places, where I feel like Cynthia Erivo really goes and does something really different. And, my favorite songs of hers are different than they were with Idina Menzel. So, yeah, I think between the two of them, the part of Elphaba felt really different, where there was much more. It felt like more of an homage.
Yeah. So you're saying that it was Wicked awesome?
Oh my God! It was that's kind of weird in Boston. Go see Wicked. You're like, oh yeah, go and see Wicked. Oh, Wicked what?
Go see Wicked, kid.
Oh yeah, Wicked.
I mean, 2024, great. 2024 awesome. Was great.
Good stuff.
I think
so much stuff.
Yeah, I think that 2025 though is going to blow 2024 out of the water. So, Derrick, hit us. What do you got?
Well, we can hope. So now I've been the guy that's been pretty disappointed with Marvel.
This is true.
However, I will say I am really looking forward to Captain America: Brave New World.
Yep.
Yeah.
I really love Falcon. And I think he's been doing such a great job. Like that series, Falcon Winter Soldier, was so good that I am really looking forward to him embracing that he's Captain America. And I just want to see the drama unfold, right? Yeah. You have Harrison Ford in this. You have Red Hulk in this. There are so many good things in this. It's just like, it looks unbelievable. It's the first time I've been really excited for another Marvel movie. And I'm hoping that we're going to be getting that what is the next phase in Marvel kind of thing. There's this deception. There is this undercovering of like what's happening in the world around us. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It's got Winter Soldier vibes.
Yes,
definitely.
It totally has that conspiracy realism type of thing that I really liked about, like the Winter Soldier. I really love that. In terms of gaming, and I think I touched upon this before, I know a lot of people are looking forward to the new Grand Theft Auto. I am looking forward to seeing what the new Switch looks like.
Me too. Yeah.
I think that, Nintendo made a huge risk, taking their portable console and making it their primary console, right? So it's primary and it's also portable. So that, they're kind of betting the farm on this kind of thing. And they're just starting to really sow their oats, if you will, in get really their feet on the ground about like having an online platform. Yep. Nintendo is finally, really kind of like shoring up their software. They're offering, their past titles now, like they have a library of them with Nintendo Direct Online. So I've heard that everything that you've bought for Switch is going to transfer over to the new console.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I'm really looking forward to. So they might actually be doing like digital purchases, right? So looking forward to that, seeing if that's actually going to come. So knocking on wood, that's actually going to fall.
Because I have rebought Ocarina of Time. I think I'm on my fourth time now.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that complain about that.
No.
Yep, there's definitely. In terms of TV shows, the final and the next season of Andor is coming out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just heard that.
I also too am looking forward to Fallout season 2, but I'm looking forward to Andor. Yeah,
that was what a surprise hit. Andor was so good.
I know.
I think with Skeleton Crew, that's going to be a good 1-2.
Yes.
left turn with Andor. I mean, like, he kills 2 guys in the first episode.
Yep.
We don't see that in Star Wars.
Yep.
You know, we don't see the dirty grittiness, which we saw in Andor. I thought that was fabulous. But, you know, from going from dirty and grittiness, Ian, I know that you're looking forward to a movie that is the complete opposite of dirty and gritty.
Yes.
It's beautiful and colorful.
Right? We just got a trailer. You know, I have kind of my 2 that I'm looking forward to. Superman. I mean, here we go. We're getting a brand new DC universe. It's launching cinematic stuff. I watched Creature Commandos on HBO Max. The Superman trailer, oh my gosh, go watch it right now if you haven't seen it. But Crypto the Super Dog, oh, come on. I mean, I feel like they just nailed so many great things in that trailer that I am so pumped for it. I want new Superman stories and Batman stories. I'm tired of the Penguin and these things that they don't put Batman in, they don't put things in. These characters are made to be like weekly comic books drama. The amount of story we should be getting from Spider-Man and Superman and Batman. And they go, no, you get one every 5 years. You get an hour and a half of Batman every 5 years. That's not enough Batman.
It's $250 million to make one of these movies.
I think they can make it way cheap. Batman's in the shadows. How does it cost that much? It's a guy in a cape, and you can barely see him, and it's mostly just sound effects.
All right. I understand.
So Superman, I'm hoping, I'm pumped, although I'm sure they spent a lot of money.
Go watch the trailer after this episode.
It's very good.
Yeah,
and Fantastic Four. I mean, when we're talking about Marvel, when I'm looking to the next year, I'm kind of worried that Captain America is going to be hit or miss. Really, it's Fantastic Four, because the next movies that are coming up, Doomsday, we're getting Dr. Doom, and and that's just going to be awesome. Where it's leading to. So I want to see Fantastic Four. I love Pedro Pascal.
It's a horse race now. DC and Marvel are in a horse race.
Yes. So I'm pumped. I think that's going to be really cool. I think the Fantastic Four, they're called the first family of Marvel, and I love that kind of family dynamics. Like The Incredibles is one of my favorite superhero movies. Yeah, they could do so much good stuff with that, and I think they could. Awesome. Gaming, as I'm talking about next year, Ghost of Yoti, which is a sequel to a game, Ghost of Tsushima, that's on PlayStation. Amazing samurai game. It has this like art direction, and it's just creative. There's sword fighting with different styles, and so you learn all these different styles and things, and it's in like feudal Japan, and it's just absolutely breathtaking visuals. So that's cool. TV shows, Fallout Season 2, that's my one. Where Season 1 was so great that like I cannot wait to see that. I will be staying up late at midnight and like hitting play on Amazon. I'll hit refresh on Amazon Prime to watch it. Maybe they might go to New Vegas is what they teased at the end of Season 1.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And so that's something that was a really awesome Fallout game where it's like Las Vegas, but in Fallout, and like some things survived. It has such personality. It's such a cool, like the crooners.
I would like to see Boston. Didn't they do a Fallout game for Boston, Fallout 4?
Fallout 4, yeah.
Boston, East Coast, like DC and stuff like that.
The TV show was kind of Fallout 5. It was still set after that.
Okay. All right.
So in the Commonwealth, we call it the Commonwealth. Okay.
Well, Commonwealth was also in Walking Dead,
right? So Jay, what is Walking Dead one of your favorite upcoming movies?
Not really, because I haven't been not disappointed. It's just been kind of like, okay, we had new character. We didn't really have a lot of new characters. Like we had Negan, we've had in Dead City with Maggie, we've had Daryl Dixon, 2 seasons of that. We had the Rick Grimes show.
Is that worth checking out? I haven't watched the Daryl show
I love
yet.
the Rick Grimes show. That's my favorite one. I thought it was good. I thought it had the most heart because it had the most kind of story. I know that like Maggie and her son and stuff like that, and then Daryl and Carol's relationship, but I do love the kind of the way they brought in the love story of Rick and Michonne and how they find each other again. You saw it in the trailer. They find each other again.
Awesome.
But no, TV show, there's too many TV shows for me. I love streaming TV shows. I love watching them in pockets and stuff like that. I just finished Fear the Walking Dead again. There's way too many to count. There's reboots, finales. One that's a curveball to me, and it's kind of, maybe it's another ER, I don't know. It's called The Pit. It's Noah Wyle as a doctor, not Dr. Carter, though. He's kind of more of a hard edge kind of guy. And in like the hospital in Pittsburgh, that's like really, it sounds like there's gang violence and there's all these medical side, because I loved ER. ER was a great show. We have the end of Stranger Things coming. We have the end of The Boys, which is one of my favorite adaptations. The Last of Us. I think that next season's going to be amazing. So there's a lot of TVs. Daredevil Born Again. Yeah,
I know.
The best casting. I love the cast.
Can't wait.
Having John Bernthal back as the Punisher, he is the Punisher. And speaking of Marvel, my favorite movie soon, obviously Fantastic Four. I love that. I also am really looking forward to Thunderbolts. I know a lot of people are like, Suicide Squad, but Marvel. Yeah, but I think the characters are better.
Yeah.
I love because it's, those characters have more character to them. They have more story, right? It's not just like, the Weasel and TDK and Boomerang Man, like Captain Boomerang. Like, no. These characters all have this backstory that Marvel's been building. And that's why I say DC and Marvel in a horse race now. It seems like the Superman story is really going to be that beginning of like really that emotional story that we were really lacking with the Snyderverse. It was kind of just dark and kind of like you leave the theater depressed. It's like, nostalgia movie coming out that I didn't really know about until I just saw a trailer like a couple weeks before we recorded this. Return of the Living Dead. The kind of campy version of George Romero's universe with like Tarman and the zombies talk and they eat brains. There's a remake coming out for Christmas next year. It's a year away. They have this trailer where all it is, it's Tarman in shadow dragging a Christmas tree through a cemetery and he like unplugs the light and it's just Tarman returns. I love those campy horror movies. I'm looking forward to that. And finally, we mentioned it already. I think it's a great thing to end on because it has everything. It has story. It has bright colors. It has gameplay. GTA 6. I say bring it on. I know that this game gets a lot of crap for being, it's hyper violent and it's all this. I understand that. The story that they tell, though, the story is just something you get wrapped up in it. There's no, I know it's amazingly far-fetched and it's campy, but I love the story. I think it's great. And I get this, they're really focusing on having like a female protagonist too, which is great. I just think it's going to be amazing. It's got that Miami Vice feel. It's Florida, and we all know how Florida is full of story. So I'm looking forward to that. That's
the people of Florida.
And it's been a long time coming. GTA 6,
I don't want to diss
we've been waiting
our
for a
fans
long
in Florida.
time.
I don't want, well, they were doing Red Dead Redemption 2, which I think changed it set the bar for those story games, those open world story games, right?
Rockstar. They're amazing.
So GTA 6, bring it on. And with that, I think we wrapped everything up. I think there's bows on the presents and we're just waiting for it. So that's it.
Light the candles.
Thanks for hanging out with us and listening to us gush over all the amazing stuff that 2024 had and that's coming in 2025. We hope that you have one or two things that you learned about that you want to see coming in 2025.
That's right. And if you want to find us, check us out at 3-Dimensional Dads. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok at 3-Dimensional Dads, or email us at 3dimensionaldads@gmail.com. We want to hear from you.
On the next episode of 3-Dimensional Dads, we're talking toys and parenting. As kids, we play with them, and as parents, we must purchase and then inevitably step on them in the dark. It's that festive time of year where the three of us are quested to find bigger and louder and more expensive toys than last year. And all this and more on the next episode of 3-Dimensional Dads.
Three friends, all geeks, exploring every dimension of being a dad.